Okay, so here's the thing, right? Donald Trump is due to visit the UK at some point next month, or this month, sorry. And there's been a lot of hoo-ha, petitions signed, people protesting, which is okay. I've got no problems with that. I'm actually what you might call a libertarian. So for me, it's all about the issues. It's not politics. Yeah. On some issues, I'm conservative. On other issues, I'm liberal. You know, I don't play the politics game. All right. So I'm neither conservative or liberal. You know, it's all about the issue. Like I said, a lot of people have accused Mr. Trump, President Trump, of being racist, of having racist views, and I think this is incorrect. In my opinion, he's very blunt. You know, he tells you how it is. I mean, at some point in everyone's lives, we've said something that is slightly racist. You know, it's impossible not to offend somebody at some point in your life. You can't just tippy toe around some things. You know, you've got to be direct. You've got to be honest. And let me just emphasize, I'm no big fan of Donald Trump. You know, he's an entrepreneur. He's greedy. He has pretty bad traits for a human being, as far as I'm concerned. But he's got good ones too. So now there's this big hoo-ha. Like I said, you know, people, all the professional protesters, the eco warriors, the what you call them, the trustafarians with their dirty dreadlocks, squatting. You know, even though they come from like quite respectable middle class backgrounds, you know, they've got rich parents, but they want to rough it up, and you know the types. And I actually detest people like that because they're not working class, they're not poor, you know, they are fake professional protesters. Yeah, their lives are cushy. They don't struggle. They don't have any problems with money. They go to university. Everything's paid for. So why the hell are they squatting properties when they have the money, the education to get somewhere to get somewhere to live? You know, people like me who work, you know, probably I work for a minimum wage. We scrimp and we save, you know, but I don't go out and protest. Okay? I don't go out and cry about how bad the world is and how unjustified how unjustified society is. That's just life. You know, we're never going to live in a utopian society. Forget it. All right? You're going to have struggles. There's going to be barriers put in front of you. Just get over it and get on and enjoy your life. Okay, so those are the type of people that are going to be out protesting, not the genuine people like myself who really have to struggle to survive, you know, to pay your mortgage, to make sure all the bills are paid for at the end of the month. You know, these people are fake. Okay, so I don't associate myself with these liberals or the conservatives. So, like I said, I don't play the game. All right. So no doubt everyone's going to be out protesting. People that don't really give a shit but want to show off in front of their peers. And I say, let's give the man a chance. All right. He's got his bad points, but then again, you know, he could improve relations with Russia. And I'm no big fan of President Putin. I don't think he's quite an unsavory character, personality. He's got no morals. He's an opportunist basically, and he's a dictator. However, this man has a shitload of nuclear weapons, right? More than the United States and the rest of the world probably put together, right? So he could annihilate us, right? We don't want to appease this man, but we want somebody strong who's going to stand up to him and take no nonsense. And I think Trump will do that. No shadow of a doubt. Trump will stand up to him, you know. But at the same time, he'll try and, he'll try and bargain with the man, which is what you want to do, because Putin's not going to be in power for much longer. Maybe 5 years, could be less than that. You know, he's not going to hold on until he gets into his 70s. He's going to be an old man. So at some point, somebody's going to replace him. And we want to stay on the good side of Russia, even though the whole government is a dictatorship and it's pretty vile. And they use underhand tactics to stay in power. All the stuff that's going on in the Ukraine is despicable and it's disgusting. So I say let's give Donald Trump a chance. Let's see what he can do. I mean, it's true what he says about NATO. America funds NATO to the hilt. It costs them billions, and we've relied on the United States to defend everyone. And you know, they've got to look after their own, which I have no problems with that whatsoever. In terms of the relationship with these Muslim countries where the terrorists are coming from, you know, it's a difficult one. You know, there are terrorists with the mixed in with the general refugees. I mean, they're only a tiny percentage. They're so small. You know, it's horrible to say this, but it's insignificant. Even when something does happen, there is a terrorist attack. You know, considering the amount of people, the percentage of people that come through, it's minute. The ones that want to leave a trail of destruction and blow things up. It's such a small percentage. However, it's still a risk. Yeah. And I don't think he's given a blanket ban on anyone who's a Muslim can't come into the United States. It's specific areas around the world where the threats are coming from. Yeah. And I think that's completely reasonable. Because I don't want people coming from Syria or wherever it is, Iraq, planning to murder me when I'm in a supermarket doing my shopping. You know, or kidnap people inside the fucking supermarket and behead you and then film it and then put it on the internet and then blow themselves up. No thank you very much. You know, I don't want that. And if people are coming from a geographic location around the world where the biggest percentage of terrorists reside, then I see nothing wrong in banning them from entering the country for a specific time, time period, until things have calmed down a little bit, because this is going to go on. This seems to escalate and go on forever, and I'm sick and tired of it. You know, like I said, I'm neither a conservative or a liberal. I don't trust the governments. I don't care what if they're right leaning, left leaning, in the middle. I don't trust any of them because they're politicians. Yeah, they're snakes at the end of the day. They're self-serving. They look after their own interests while pretending to care about everyone else when in fact they don't give a fucking shit. Okay, most are like that. They might start off with good intentions and want to change the society and the world and this and that and blah de blah de blah. And then as soon as they get a nice cushy little job and they get their little house in the countryside, quaint little cottage that costs £1,000,000, and they're driving around in their 4x4s, right? It doesn't matter if they are conservative, Labour, Liberals, UKIP, whatever, right? They look after, they're sorted. They look after number one. They don't give a fuck about you or me. So these people, these fucking serial protesters, they get on my tits. They really do. And they'll protest anything. My God. You know, they really need to get a life. They really need to just get on with things. And of course, it's good to live in a society where we protest against a totalitarian state. But we don't live in a totalitarian state. You know, we don't have military police with machine guns, you know, patrolling up and down the streets in the UK or in the US. You know, I think the police are slightly out of control. They are out of control in the US. They're a bit trigger happy, but they live in a society where everyone's got a fucking gun. So that's pretty much fucked up the whole. What's the word I'm looking for? The whole society itself. So, okay, you know, I'm not a professional debater or someone who can argue his point. I'm pretty bad. Yeah, I'm training to be a journalist, and you know, journalism is my thing. So I just thought I'd add my little penneth to the argument, because I've read an article in one of the shitty little tabloids about this petition, and it's been signed by 1.5 million people who don't really give a fuck, to be honest, whether he comes or not. He's not Adolf Hitler, you know. He's an old man. He's a bit of a jerk. He comes out with stuff that, you know, your uncle would say, you know, like your senile old uncle. You know, he's not a trained politician. He's rough around the edges. So this is all new to him, and he doesn't mince his words. And I think sometimes that's what you need. You know, you need people to get to the point and not dilly dally and beat around the bush. You know, because they're too scared because they're gonna offend some people. And we just got to get over it, man, and let this guy visit. I don't particularly like him. He's quite a unsavory character, but you know, let's see what he's going to do before we all criticize him. Anyway, thanks for listening. This has been Pulse News, soon to be Pulse Media.